Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so if I stumble over my words moving forwards, I apologise about that. And also, if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well, if there's any lag, anything like that at all, sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2022 related video here on my channel. First things first, I want to say a big thank you to anybody who saw my most recent video, which was called Why Sweden Should Win Eurovision 2022. I was very apprehensive about filming that and uploading it. I was expecting a lot of backlash, a lot of people really disagreeing with me and not happy with the opinions that I was giving in that video. Maybe if my channel was bigger, that would have happened. But actually, a lot of the comments were very nice indeed, and I'm very thankful to everybody who took their time to leave a comment or left a like, whatever it is. Very, very valid points were made, and I do intend to go back onto that video very soon and reply to some of those messages. However, I'm filming another similar video right now, and that is purely because when I was thinking about which country to talk about for my Why Blank Should Win Eurovision 2022 recording, I was really torn between two. I thought about maybe talking about the Netherlands again, but I've discussed a Dutch entry in Why It Should Win a couple of years ago. De Diepte is great. I could have spoken about Ace Team. But then I thought, well, I really enjoy the Swedish track, I think it's very good, so I'll talk about Hold Me Closer. But there was this one song that kept jumping out at me. A as a potential winner, and B as a song that I was just enjoying more and more every time I heard it. And you've seen the title, so you know what I'm going to be talking about today. And that is, oh yes, the Greek entry for this year's upcoming 66th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which is, of course, Die Together by Amanda Georgiadi Tenfjord. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and check out the links in the description to my other social media pages if you so wish. What I'm going to be saying in this video is very similar to what I said regarding the Swedish entry, because these two songs aren't miles apart. They are a little bit similar, in the sense that they are ballads, they're both low-key, they're both quite emotionally driven, they both build up to a sort of rousing, somewhat emphatic finale. They're both great songs. They are both contenders to win. There is no doubt about it in my mind. Sweden will be up there pushing for that record-equaling 7th victory. Greece are looking for their second win and first since 2005. They will both be up there, I'm sure. I'd be amazed if not. Amazed. I think a lot of people would be. So anyway, this is going to be a ramble because, as usual, I haven't scripted anything here. It's worth saying that Greece, of course, back in the mid-2000s, were the strongest nation in the contest pretty much every year. Certainly one of the strongest, no question about that. Sakis Rouvas came along with Shake It. Istanbul 2004 finished third, which was the joint best result for Greece at the contest at that point. And then a year later, Helena Paparizou went to Kiev and won with My Number One. And of course, that was her second time finishing in the top 3 for Greece after 2001, because she was the lead singer of Antique. But that was Greece's first win, and it was a long time coming, and it was a big deal. And then we had Anna Visi, top 10, Sabel, top 10, Kalamira, top 3, Sakis came back, top 10. Then we had Georgios Alkaios and Friends, top 10. Lucas Yorkas and Stereo Mike, top 10, I have to say. I think that's a wildly overrated track, but top 10 nevertheless. 2012, we can sort of gloss over a little bit. That was a bit of a blip on the radar. 2013, top 10 again. So for many, many years, roughly a decade, Greece were the country to beat, to be honest. If you finished above Greece, you were probably getting a very, very good result indeed. After 2013, results just haven't been quite as impressive. We had Freaky Fortune and Risky Kid, and I thought Rise Up was going to do really well, and it finished nowhere for some reason. Live performance maybe wasn't the best. We had One Last Breath, didn't do that well. Utopian Land didn't qualify. Demi, not brilliant, not as good as it could have been. Then we had Jana Terzi on Nero Mu, didn't qualify, but that was a very tough semi-final to get out of. Then we had 2019 was Katarine Duska. Again, I thought she was going to do really well, but she was nowhere near. Live performance wasn't as good as it could have been, wasn't executed in the way I thought it was going to be executed in, if you see what I mean. Then we had Stefania, who of course did come back for 2021, and I think they did well last year, Greece. Mainly, well, yes, the song was very good, but also because of the staging and the fact that they had this sort of green screen effect, giving this song that little kick it needed to really stand out from the field. If they hadn't gone with that, this would not have done as well, in my opinion. So, for 2022, it's Amanda Georgiadi Tenfjord who will perform in that first semi-final on May the 10th, less than a month to go, and she is sandwiched between Iceland and Norway, song 15 on the night. This is obviously going through. For many people, this is not only a sure qualifier, but a very strong candidate to win the semi-final, and potentially do extremely well in the grand final too, because this will be in the grand final. The juries will love this. They'll love her vocals. She's performed this live now, and my god, it was very, very good. She also performed this with a choir recently, very, very good. But yes, the live vocals are fantastic. The melody is great, builds up well. There is enormous potential here for the staging. And the public, I think, will respond very well too. Maybe not quite as impressively in terms of points as the juries, but we wait and see. So, the song, let's talk about Amanda first, actually, before we get into the song. Amanda is 25, she's from Norway, but she has strong ties to Greece, 2 extended plays, whole bunch of singles, and she was in the same class as Sigrid when she was at school, another great musician right there from Norway. So, she was internally selected by the Greek broadcaster, she came out on top of all of these other names. Die Together was released sometime in March, I think it was. I was very excited for it. I'd listened to some of her other material. It sounded very promising. I thought she had a smashing voice. And I was not disappointed. If you've seen my reaction video to Die Together, I just thought it was great from the very first listen. I thought the music video was fantastic. And whilst I personally can't really resonate with these lyrics, it's fine. I don't really strongly resonate with the lyrics of Hold Me Closer or De Deepter. It's almost as if those 3 songs and maybe 1 or 2 others this year are related, because they're really not that different from each other. You could all bunch them together into one group. But what I was saying was, yes, I can't really resonate with the lyrics too much, but it doesn't really matter because I can still enjoy the song for what it is. And this song is just going up, up, up for me, like Loreen, if you see what I mean. It's currently my number 7, I think. It could be in my personal top 3 by the time the contest comes around. I would not be surprised. I'm very excited for how this is going to be staged. What is so impressive about this track, it's a risky thing. Perhaps it's more risky than impressive. But it's a wonderful thing too, is that for pretty much the entire first half of this track, it's pretty much a cappella, isn't it? There's nothing to it. It's just Amanda's voice. There's not really much in the way of instrumentation. A little bit. Obviously there's that sort of slight vocal alteration thing going on in the background. But really it's just her voice and nothing else. There doesn't need to be any gimmicks, and there won't be. There doesn't need to be anything flashy in terms of camera angles or lighting. There might be a smoke machine. The camera might be right in front of her face to begin with. But to anybody who hasn't heard this song before or seen a live performance before, even if the song ends up not being your cup of tea, it is the sort of track that just immediately draws you in, because it's so remarkable and refreshing that we have this song that's starting and it's just the vocals. And anybody who's really paying attention to the lyrics, they might think, oof, these are hitting home. These are really powerful words that she's singing to us. Like I said with the Swedish track, it's almost as if this is a diary entry that's being presented to us for 3 minutes, and then that's it, closure. And again, you could interpret that actually as a sort of intrusion, as though we're hearing this very personal, raw, honest thing that we're not supposed to hear, and then the book is snapped shut after 3 minutes, and it's like we were never there in the first place. Or you could just interpret it as somebody who is opening up to us. And I get the feeling that Amanda is going to perform this really well, almost as if she is addressing a friend, sort of like, not a confession, but just opening up to somebody really close, a confidant, if you will. And she's just talking about how this relationship sort of petered out over this summer. And yeah, I mean, I actually haven't looked at the lyrics for quite a while, but there's one line that I think is really fantastic, and I think it's been a hell of a year for us. Is that the lyric? I think it is. Apologies, I should know better here. But that, I mean, I think that would have had more resonance last year, or more of an impact last year, sorry, because obviously everybody was in lockdown and it was very, very challenging for a lot of people. But I think it's still packing quite a punch. And I just love the way this builds up. It's beautiful in its fragility. There's a term that I've used many times before. You know, it's almost as if this song is made of glass, we're walking on it, and then by the time it really sort of explodes, but not in an over-the-top manner for the final chorus. It's as if that glass has cracked. And it's a release of energy. All of this sort of pent-up emotion that Amanda has had, it is being released. And I love the fact that this is sort of quite restrained. It's not an absolute blast. Oh, excuse me. It's not an absolute blast of, you know, sobbing, cathartic emotion. It packs a punch, yes, but it's not wildly over the top. It could be, but it's not. And I think that's wonderful. And that contrast, that juxtaposition between it being so subtle and so moody and glum at the start. You see, the Dutch song sort of stays that way all the way through. Still great. But the Greek entry starts off in that manner, and then it just becomes more emotional and more emphatic, anthemic, whatever word you want to use, by the time we get to the final third. And there's also that moment before the final chorus where it just starts to pick up the momentum, you know, almost as if that emotion is welling up inside of her and it needs to be expressed, it needs to be released, and we, the audience, can experience that. How I would stage this, and I'm thinking about the arches that are on stage as well. I'm thinking that we have Amanda standing there, backing singers off to one side that we don't really see for most of the song, because really the emphasis is on Amanda. And there's perhaps a smoke machine. She's looking great, sounding great. She sounded so good in this live version, it's outrageous. And maybe there's just this ball of light at the bottom of these arches. And as the song progresses, that ball of light gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then the whole stage is lit up by the time that final chorus comes in. And there's this great wide shot, and it just looks tremendous and sounds really, really brilliant. This live performance that I watched a short while ago, it just seemed really effortless. It really did. It's almost as if she's so used to doing this. There didn't seem to be any nerves, there didn't seem to be any vocal issues whatsoever. She just nailed it. And it's going to happen again in Turin. And I think that's why the juries will go big for this, because it's going to be a very, very polished performance that is vocally strong, and the song is top-notch. And the public, I think, will dish out a lot of points as well. This has broad appeal for a ballad. I think it really does. I can't see just a few countries dishing out, 5 points here, 6 points there. This is going to be a lot of points from a lot of different countries. And then when Greece appear in the final, that's even more points coming Amanda's way. If I had to make a very wild estimation here, I would say, well, let's think here. I don't think this will be getting 200 points from the public in the final. John's Tears didn't last year for Switzerland. So I think minimum of 150, and then from the jury, maybe a minimum of something like 210, 220. Possibly, if it's really brilliant, it could be as high as that. So that, let's say, my maths is terrible, let's say somewhere in the region of 375 points overall in the final. That's not enough to win. It would be a very good result. But what I'm thinking here is that it could be a lot more than that. I'd be amazed, as I said earlier, I would be amazed if this song finished anywhere outside the top 6. Really, I would. This is the best chance for Greece in years. This, to me, is a statement entry. It is people are listening to this, and a lot of people, I think, will agree with me that this song, A, is really strong, and B, is a contender to win the whole thing. And should this get Greece a really fantastic result, that's a sign that maybe that form of old, that form from the mid-2000s is returning. That now Greece are going to go back to getting consistently great results year after year after year after year. Oh man, I just love it. I love how haunting it is. You know, those first notes. And we're just totally invested straight away. She's totally in control of the song. And that chorus, that sort of soaring note. And then there's that great note where she sort of extends it in the final chorus. That's fantastic too. Just gives the song a little extra pizzazz almost. Makes it a little bit more interesting for the listener, perhaps you could say. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. It's just a really pretty track. And you know that it's a serious tune. Because even though there is nothing else to it but her voice at the start, you just get that feeling that this is going to be a really serious track. There's not going to be anything silly here. That comes with Norway afterwards. You know, that's the injection of fun. And actually, these two songs being next to each other in the running order really isn't too bad, because some people will really loathe Greece but love Norway. Some people will despise Norway's entry but absolutely adore Die Together. So you're sort of pleasing both crowds here in the space of, 6 minutes. This is probably going to win the first semi-final. We do have a lot of songs, like I said earlier, that can be bunched with this Greek track. The Dutch entry, maybe even Portugal at a push, maybe even Iceland at a push. All of these low-key, very gentle, relaxing tunes to listen to. Maybe they'll cancel each other out, or maybe one will just stand out from the rest. In the current OGAE fan poll, Greece is nowhere. The Netherlands are doing a lot better. And the Dutch song, as I keep saying, is fantastic. But I thought Greece would be up there too. I know that we can't just look at that poll and say, okay, it's sorted, Italy and Sweden are going to be battling it out for the win in Turin. We can't look at that and say that for sure, of course. It's just a fan poll. But yeah, I thought Greece would be doing a lot better at the moment, but there we are. Shows what I know, really. I thought they'd be up there, but no. Anyway, I'm running out of steam. I haven't really spoken about the song in any great depth, but it does give me winner vibes. It really does. It really does. It just seems like the sort of song that is surely going to do well. Even if it's not a song that you can really enjoy, as a Eurovision fan, you can still listen to it, I hope, and say, okay, I'm not really into this, but I can absolutely see why people are, why it's one of the favourites to win, and why people are raving about it, and why a lot of people have it ranked very highly. I can get it. Of course, there's the Swedish track, even Australia, even Poland as well. Might all cancel each other out. And in terms of the big hitters this year... Sorry, I keep looking over there. I'm watching the snooker at the same time. In terms of the big hitters this year, you've got Ukraine, might win by a mile. You've got Italy, bound to do well. Sweden, yes. I know Poland are up there too. But if Ukraine don't get the love from the jury, if Sweden flop a little bit, if Italy don't do as well as we're expecting them to from the public, Greece are right there. Maybe they'll come along, and Amanda will lift that trophy aloft in Turin in the middle of next month. It's very possible. And if Greece were to win, I would not be disappointed, because it's such a fantastic song. It's my favourite Greek entry for a very long time. And it's going to be a real moment. It could be one of the performances of the year. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. Absolutely. Just the way this could be shot, the simplicity of the staging. Don't go mad. You don't need to. It's going to look amazing with those rotating arches as well and the lights on those arches. Oh my god, you've all seen the video by now, I'm sure. That stage is going to look absolutely smashing when it's finished. I should say, I know somebody who's going to the family show on the Saturday, and not only am I quite jealous, I'm expecting a blow-by-blow account. Oh man, seeing this song live, it's going to be a very special thing indeed. It really is. Greeks are right to be proud of this, because it's just so splendid. That's the word to use. It's splendid. It's effortlessly performed, the performances that we've had so far from Amanda. It's powerful, it's emotional, it's stark and honest, and it's going to resonate with people lyrically too. Not everybody, but a lot of people, I'm sure. And this was one of the favourites, even before the song was released. Greece were up there in the odds. And now they are fully cemented in that top 10 in terms of favourites to win. If not the winner, top 5, top 6, absolutely. I'd be amazed if anything other than that was to happen next month. And I have nothing else to say. I just think that it's such a good song, and it gets better every time I hear it. And it's a really accomplished, in it to win it song. You know it. Like I said, even if this isn't really your cup of tea, surely a lot of people who feel that way about Die Together can listen to this and say, yeah, this is in it to win it. This is a winning contender. Absolutely. So yeah, that's it. Bit of a ramble once again from me, but that's why Greece should win Eurovision 2022. I think people are just going to be, a lot of people are going to be blown away by how this song starts, the progression of it, the sort of euphoric ending, the vocals, the way this could look live, the aesthetic of this performance. The staging won't be much, but it's the lighting, the atmosphere. If you can generate the atmosphere of the studio cut onto stage in Turin, you are on to something very, very special. And if everything else is working too, it is a serious contender to win. It could be Greece's second victory after 2005. With that being said, I am now going to wrap this video up. There will be another video from me very soon with updated predictions for the semi-finals. I've made those predictions, I've just got to record the video. And then really, I'm just going to be waiting for rehearsals. I think the first rehearsals, first of all, I know they're not being shown to the press in the press centre in Turin. That is not happening this year. I think we are getting clips, though, on TikTok. Oh, no. Stick them up on YouTube. I've no idea what the plan is. No idea whatsoever. But I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. And then, of course, the second rehearsals, they'll be very, very interesting too. And then before you know it, the live shows will be here. This time next month, it'll all be over. And we'll be able to analyse the results to our heart's content. But until then, until next time, social media links in the description below. Check them out if you so wish. And I'm interested to know your thoughts. Please respect my opinions, as I will with yours. Oh, something else I should say, absolutely should have mentioned this at the start. Shane's Eurovision Review made a video very recently talking about the Greek track, and I just want to say, I'm not filming this video to copy him. Not at all. I had this video lined up anyway. Check out his channel, check out his video, really very good. He had Greece at number 24. That's not low. And, you know, you can have a song at number 40 and still think that it's pretty darn good. Lithuania is my number 40. I still like that song. I just can't rank it any higher. It's as simple as that. So, yeah. What's the point I'm trying to make here? Yes, accept my opinions and the opinions of other Eurovision fans. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Why Greece should perhaps win Eurovision 2022. Take care. See you soon. Bye for now.